Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel called Zuzana Reacts, where I learn all things Bharat with your help, and I just share my Slovak Central European point of view. And in today's video, I think many of you were asking me about my experience going to India and of the trip, and I just wanted to cover that and discuss this. But before we do,
Please like this video and click on the subscribe button and turn on the notification. Thank you so much for your support.
Okay, so why did I go to India? Now, obviously, I started this channel to learn about India, and I kind of wanted to learn about it before I actually go there. So many people are always asking me about why are you doing this channel? Why is it for India? Yada yada yada. And for me, I think I'll just address it here again because it feels like people are not really checking the bio. And for me, one thing, as I mentioned, it was I wanted to actually go to India. But because I'm spiritual and I consider India like the cradle of spirituality, I wanted to kind of like I've been doing that to explore mainly that part. And obviously India is up and coming. It really is rising, and I just kind of wanted to see what that is about and how it works over there. So these are kind of like my personal reasons for, let's say, doing this channel, and then me going to India. Now, the choices of places, basically I decided because I had a very limited time, and I felt like everyone was criticizing me for that. And I think people need to understand that I am a person that has a full-time job, does this on the side as a fun project. And because I have a full-time job, I have limited time to go somewhere, and especially places like India, I need to go there with someone, and I also need to accommodate their schedule. So also when I'm going to India, I only had all in all 8 days to be in the country. So I needed to choose places that actually do make sense. So I got so much criticism for Taj Mahal. So I went to Taj Mahal, Jaipur, and Rishikesh. Personally, I really didn't appreciate the whole criticism over Taj Mahal. I feel like the way I travel is my personal choice. And simply, I don't know why people think about it from that angle. Like, after all, I'm just a tourist and I want to explore the sites that time-wise actually make sense. Everything is in India is just so far away. Taj Mahal is the seventh wonder of the world. Perhaps it does have a dark history. Nonetheless, it is a beautiful site. And I think I discussed it with someone in the comments that it is still like Indian people that built that. And yes, it has a dark history to that, but I think we need to start accepting history, and that's not just like, I'm not talking about it more from like an Indian point of view. I'm talking here maybe from also Slovak point of view, where we have some dark parts in the history, but I think it's important to own that and recognize that and not diminish the work of people that went into something, because also like lots of people had helped to build it. It is still the seventh wonder of the world. So I'm just going to say that Jaipur, for example, my friend that traveled with me really wanted to go there, so we went there, and I really wanted to go in reality to Rishikesh, and that's kind of how we planned it. Everything in India is just so far out, so spread out, so it's virtually impossible for me to cover or to go to the other super cool places like Kailash Temple, where I would love to go, but you just spend like 5 days traveling there. I For some odd reasons, when people consider in the comments, when you go to Delhi, you stay there. I did not. I stay there just simply because I need to fly out of somewhere. For example, tickets to Goa would have been 3 times as more expensive than they were to Delhi. So I think I would really appreciate if you guys could start thinking about these things more from a basic human logistical point of view, because it's just so, India is so huge. So, I've seen just really so little, and I needed to for the trip to make sense. Just to get to Agra took me more than 24 hours, if not 30 good 30 over 30 hours of travel. So it's a huge commitment. Anywhere you go to India, you will, like, all the cool places are all like so spread out, so far out. So I wanted to see as much as I could within the time. And that's kind of why I chose what I chose. Many of you criticized me, and honestly, I just stopped reading the comments after, because it just became really boring. That, you shouldn't go to India in this time because it's super hot and all that kind of stuff. Well, there was actually a big reason for me to go in this time, because it was my one big birthday and I really wanted to do something different, and I wanted to do it on my birthday, and I wanted to be in spiritual place on my birthday. So that's the reason. You like it or not, it's my choice, it's my money, it's my decisions. So I don't regret it. Yes, it was really hectic, it was really hot. And I said it in many other videos of mine, that it was hot, but it was bearable. It was like going to a Finnish sauna here in my part of the world. So that is why I went to India. Who did I go to India with? So I went to India with a really good friend of mine, and so we traveled together. We have, after, I've done a number of videos prior me going to India with you. It was clear that I think for us it would be beneficial to have a private guided tour, and so we decided to get a private tour. So when we, let's say, landed at the Delhi airport, it was we had a car waiting for us, driving us directly to Agra, where we did our Agra Fort, Taj Mahal next day, and then we went to Jaipur. And then from there, we had booked a sleeper bus to go to Rishikesh. And so the entire time over there, I was traveling with my friend, and I had a private guide tour, and I felt like this was a really good decision. And after, I have an Indian friend that actually looked after us when we were in Rishikesh for the entirety of our stay there. Was it a cultural shock coming to India? So that was an interesting question I got in the comments. And brief answer to that is, it wasn't. It simply wasn't. I think when I was discussing a lot of things with you in the comments, it was about just keep the open mind and all that kind of stuff. So I think the reason for me saying that it wasn't, it has to do with my overall, how I look at things in life. And even if I go to different countries, so for someone from Slovakia coming to the UK is a cultural shock, or going to Sweden is a cultural shock even. However, I tend to take things as they are, and we all judge, but I do not judge in that manner. I just accept it as it was. So I didn't find it, when you see, for example, cows in the streets and stuff like that, I did not, let's say, expect that it would, I heard about it, but I don't know, it was just it's there, and I accept it for what it is. So definitely it wasn't a cultural shock, it was just different, right? And who am I to judge? It's just different. That's kind of how I view things. What are the good things you observed about India? So there were a number of things. So roads. I was really shocked and surprised at the quality of roads. I thought they were really good, especially because I was going through a lot of highways. I thought it was really good. I was like, man, they are like even better perhaps than the ones in Slovakia. So I thought that was really great. Second thing is development. Now I felt like India is crazily developing, at least for those little parts that I've been and things I've observed along the way. There was just so much development, like roads being built, like other houses or whatever being built. I thought it was great. Like there were, for example, Delhi. Well, Delhi is obviously like the capital, so maybe it's just not the best of an example, but from what little I saw from Delhi, not much. I actually only stayed in Aero City because that's where you fly out from. And I was just like super it's like you would come to any part of places here in London and stuff like that. So that was pretty cool. And I just thought to myself, like, man, like this country is going to be so vastly different from right here, right now, to in 10 years with all that things that I saw. I thought it was pretty incredible. One thing I absolutely loved were murals. I don't know what it is with murals. Please do let me know in the comments. But they were everywhere and they were so beautiful. I was just like, me and my friend, we were just like staring, and we thought, this is so cool. I don't know how it's done, why it's done, but it definitely like just makes the things more nicer, prettier. So I really love that. I loved the sights. So as I said, I loved Taj Mahal. I loved Jaipur, the Amber Fort. I was so cool, like the wall, not even like, I mean, the palace was gorgeous, but I felt like the whole Chinese wall was built around it, and I thought it was apparently the biggest wall after the Chinese wall over there. I don't know anymore, but I just thought it was gorgeous. And then Rishikesh, I thought that the setting where the place is, like the nature, it's just so pretty. YouTube subscribers. So you guys, I shout out to the subscribers that I met on the trip in actually Rishikesh. So feel free to say hi in the comments. They approached me to take a photo with me, and I thought this was super cool. They were so sweet, honestly, like the sweetest guys. Truly enjoyed meeting them. Hi guys, if you're watching this. That was one of the highlights, like a mini highlights of the trip. It was really lovely, and honestly, they were so nice. They were so nice, so polite. I loved it. What I was not so keen on. Number one thing, noise. So it felt super loud, the whole honking situation. I was explained to about all of this, but I just don't understand how you live with all that noise. Like, I prefer nice peace and quiet, and I think that by now, like, you'd be used to that. And even my new friend said, like, after I really highlighted that, that now he actually minds. But for me, the question is, like, how do you keep peace inside? Like, there is this spiritual saying, as within, so without. So your inner world reflects your outer world. So to me, it's just like very loud, very chaotic. And I think now I know what also Sadhguru says about the organized chaos. It feels very chaotic. but it does feel indeed, like he says, that it actually works. It's just chaos that seems to work. So it's an interesting one, but it is just the whole thing is for me more from the spiritual way of looking at it. Like, how can you be peaceful if you have so much noise and then people are coming at you like with bikes and there's just us and the bike? I'm like, I do have eyes, I can see you're coming, you don't need to honk. So that part I did not really enjoy. Cleanliness. So despite I think I saw a lot of like clean places, there was still a lot of garbage around, which I did not really kind of appreciate, to be honest. But I had conversations about it, and apparently the government is supposed to, on your end, do the waste management better. I was surprised, for example, that there were no garbage bins in Jaipur at all, and I was surprised to see that people are throwing garbage out of just like a bus. That would be here. Your mom would tell you off so badly, and she would humiliate and embarrass you in front of people if you would throw garbage on the street. She would then make you pick it up and then throw it away properly. But then how do you throw it if there's no place to throw it in? So that thing. And obviously I just kind of like I accepted it, that this is like what it kind of looks like, and obviously this is still a developing country, etc. And for me it's like not too fair to judge. I obviously now know history about you, so it's like, and I know that people will be working on it, so that's great. But for me, especially with how we perceive these things here, it was big but shocking. But again, as I said at the very start, I approach it like I observe it, but approach it in a non-judgmental way, if you like. Like I see it, but it's sad because then you see animals, like let's say eating plastic bags, right? Like cows eating plastic bags, and I was like, well, that's very sad, So yeah, that's kind of what I did not love about India. One thing, it's maybe not that I didn't love, but there feels like there is a rule of 3. It feels like it takes, for one thing, let's say I bought a can of Coke and it took 3 people to give me cash. Then we needed changing like glasses in our hotel room, like to get a clean melt. It took 3 people. I felt like everywhere at night at the street were men grouping themselves in the groups of 3. And especially in Jaipur, that was very prominent. Like there were so many men outside and they were all talking. And I was like, what on earth is going on? What is the rule of 3, you guys? Please do tell me what the rule of 3 actually is. Another thing I wasn't too keen on was, and you kind of told me about this, was like everyone was wanting to take a photo with us. And people wanted to touch us as well. So I understand that obviously India is huge and that there are many people. I was told like apparently like the middle class is up and coming, etc. And I just find it very strange that everyone wanted to take photos with us. And like it interrupts your experience of the trip. And we're happy that we had guards or like other Indian locals. So that was, I think, very helpful to ward people off. But I just like, you feel like you're a hunted animal. I said it in one of my other video, like that's the feeling that you get, like you are not able to actually fully enjoy it because every time someone wants something from you. So that one I did not personally like that much. Food. Now, I know many of you have been asking me about food. And, I've done my little Indian food tasting in Slovakia. It was okay. It was, I think, certain parts I liked, certain parts I did not like. So now coming to food in India, so I wanted to try it. So the challenge with me and the food is the fact that I said it many times, but I wanted to see for myself, like in India, is that I simply don't like spicy food, right? And with too much of like different seasoning, and that's kind of what Indian food is about. So if I would ask for food, I would always ask for it to be non-spicy, and then it felt like the taste was very blunt. So it was like, okay, but I wasn't like, wow, this is so great. So there are so many Slovak people that love Indian food, so many English people, many people that love Indian food. But for my experience, I thought it was okay. There was some good food that we had, and I'm just going to play a little montage and my food tasting as well after this. But yeah, I just thought it was okay. Yeah, I think my maybe most favorite things would be lassi and naan bread and chapati. Paneer that we had, you'll see, was quite nice, but it's also like very heavy, very rich, and that's not a kind of food I want to live want to eat when there is 45 degrees out there. So yeah, here is my little montage of the food that I've tried, and me tasting some other healthy food as well. So this is literally my first food. This one was actually very nice. This is in Jaipur. So we've tried number of dishes, even those bowls. So they were supposed to be the street food that we were trying there. It was all right, nothing special in my opinion. This was another kind of meal that we tried in home, and this was another home cooked meal. They were all very nice, but again, for me, it was just okay. It wasn't anything like out of this world. This food in Amberford was really actually nice. Hi guys, so we are at Soul Kitchen. This is what it looks like. In Rishikesh, and we're waiting for our really nice yummy food. I cannot wait. It feels like it's still going to take a while. We're the only people here with the cheeky monkeys. And I'll just ask my friend how she feels. Like it's been a hard day's night. It's been a hard day's night. So Aga, how do you feel this morning?
The trip has been eventful. I think finally one after another I got some tummy issues, but I was treated with a magical potion called Minty. So all good now. So we just came slightly inland on the northern part of Rishikesh to get some food, something that will be quite gentle on our tummies. And this is definitely way more rural part of Rishikesh, which I find quite interesting, because the closer you go to the bridge and the temples, the more busy, crazy and honky it gets. So yeah, it's nice that it's way more quiet in here. We can just chill.
And tell them about the monkey.
Let me show you the monkey. Let me show you the monkey. So I'm coming back here, and then was one monkey watching me. I swear I had this very intense eye-to-eye contact. Oh, it's gone. Sorry, it's gone. No monkeys there anymore. I think maybe I scared them with my piercing eyesight.
Well, actually, the good part was that she managed to record them before, so these are the monkeys that were there, and managed to get some footage for you. So here come our drinks. I gotta try mine first. Not good.
Oh, I can taste the broccoli. Do you like broccoli?
Well, I do.
Oh, that's great.
And how's your coffee?
Coffee's good.
Okay, so now I'm a bit concerned because you looked not convinced. And yeah, I was a bit apprehensive. I was a bit apprehensive about the broccoli, but let's see. Okay, so I am going to try this green drink. Apparently, it's energy. You can see that I'm very low on energy. I'm after my birthday, and honestly, I feel like sleeping. But we're going to do some eventful sightseeing. So let's try this one if it helps to get me in the mood. Apparently too much broccoli. Okay, he's laughing. I am not convinced.
You know, you guys, we have these salty drinks around here. I'm just not a fan. I'm sorry, I'm not a fan. Okay, I think I mean, it's not completely unfortunate. It's supposed to be healthy, so it's healthy stuff does not really taste fabulous. I'll try to down this one. But luckily, I have some water as well, so we'll see how it goes. I'll see you guys shortly. So first of all, I don't quite understand why I have fork and spoon. But let's try it because I'm quite excited about this. It looks actually quite yummy.
You should know though that in Asia a lot of people eat rice with spoon, not with fork. It actually makes sense, it's more logical. I wish I knew that sooner.
Interesting. But that's not rice, that's quinoa. But I guess
Same concept.
Mhm.
Let's see if you like it.
Mm,
Yeah?
very good.
How about tofu? Because I want to try some of your tofu, it looks actually very nice.
Oh my god, this is really good. Actually, you know, it's a big change from from this bad boy. Well, if you guys have down some, I'll continue with the trend.
Yeah?
This is really nice.
Okay,
So
that's great.
for everyone, Seoul Cafe, in case you guys, if you come here, you need to try. Just don't try this. It's very broccoli type of technique, but this is really yummy.
Enjoy!
What do I overall think of India? Now, my experience has obviously been mine, and I think people also talk to me about stereotypes, so I'm going to address that. So I think for me it was very different overall because I already had a channel and I already learned so much from you guys, and I think that was like one of the most exciting things that when I was going to places like ashrams and stuff, I thought it was, you know, like, oh my god, I already know. So a friend of mine that went with me, she didn't know all these things, but I knew, and that made me feel like really excited and connected, you know, in a way. Obviously I still know very little, but that was cool. And I thought India did surprise me, but I thought I don't know, it was more about, you know, for example, I could not just get my head around the roads and the infrastructure, how good it was. You know, I was really nicely surprised, and I was surprised to see the development there, right? As I mentioned at the very start of the video. I feel like India, if that's the kind of progression is taking, it's going to grow exponentially. And stereotypes. So this is an interesting question, and again, it's about my way of being and kind of approaching things from a rather non-judgmental angle. So to be honest, I had no stereotypes. Like, I don't know what to talk to you guys about. I feel like there is, at least from me reading the comments, you are maybe aware of these stereotypes more than I am, but I did not know Indian stereotypes. You know, like when you guys actually told me these stereotypes, I did not come with them. So for me, I cannot answer that question because I did not have any preconditions or predispositions about India. And the only thing I had about India, and that would not be part of the trip, is that I work with Indians in India, and I mentioned that many times, that it was never really a positive experience, and I mentioned many times that that's all the people I know around me say. But that's a business type of a kind of situation, so that cannot really be dispelled, you know, in like a geographical trip. And I think I've discussed this many times, and we've kind of found out where the causes are there. But I really didn't have any stereotypes about India. I just went there, I experienced, I left, all right? But the exciting part was really the fact that I already knew so many things, so that the fact that I have the channel and I talk to you guys has been super helpful, and it's been super cool because I could feel like, I'm not saying at home, but like you kind of already know, even though it's you cannot really ever know about India because it's just so huge. So that was, yeah, So that's kind of my reply to that question. Would I come back to India? Absolutely. Oh man, like I only seen like these very, very little parts of India. There are so many other gorgeous things that you guys have, and I would love to see more and explore other parts of India. So, people are saying in the comments, so like going south was definitely something I wanted to like. Going Goa, Kerala, going north, even further northeast. Like I would love to go to Himalayas properly, and all the kind of sites that are there. I would just kind of want to know. There's just so much to explore, and even when it comes to food, I'm very aware that different parts of India have very different cuisines. So this is just like teeny tiny little bit that I experienced of India. So overall, it was a really good trip. Unfortunately, I got sick for most of the part of the trip. I mentioned it in the comments. I'm going to address here. I had a cold, I think. When I was getting better, we went to see Ashtam Temple, and in the car there was a blasting aircon, and I knew from that moment I'm going to be ill like I haven't been ill before. So that's kind of what happened. I feel like I got ill from the aircon, and then I just couldn't get rid of it for some odd reasons. And the kind of stomach problems happened there as well. But I feel like I still managed to make the trip a success, and I really enjoyed it. So yes, I would definitely come back to India. And I think this is it for this experience of me in India. And thank you guys, honestly, so much for watching and for all your support that you've given me for the past year. I really don't take it for granted. I felt like this has allowed me to experience India from a very, very different angle, perspective, point of view, and very much enjoyed it. And with that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I'm sending lots of peace and love, and I'll catch you in the next one. You take care. Bye-bye.